conducted both in person and remotely. For the record, this is Village President Mark Zula, and I am currently at the regular meeting location, Roscoe Village Hall. Provisions have been made for elected officials, village staff, and members of the public to participate remotely. As always, any action taken tonight will be conducted by a roll call vote. Item 2, Pledge of Allegiance. I will now ask those present to please rise for a Pledge of Allegiance. Given the audio delay issues, we will ask anyone participating remotely to please keep their microphone on mute during the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Item 3, roll call. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Gustafson. Here. Malaco.
Here.
Petty. Here. Flock.
Here.
Dunn.
Here.
King.
Here.
Okay. Item 4, public comment.
Here.
Are there any members of the public that wish to be heard under public comment? Gee, would you like to be heard? Joseph, do we have a hand up out there?
No, we don't.
Anybody out there remotely? Is there anybody out there remotely right now? Do you know?
Just staff.
All right, public comment going once, public comment going twice, public comment is now gone. Item 5, President's Parade. And now, let's see, I know that we are issuing a press release this week, but let me take an opportunity to publicly congratulate our own Super Chief Jamie Evans on her recent appointment to the Executive Committee of Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police. Chief Evans, this is tremendous and well-deserved and honor. Thank you for representing the village of Roscoe in a manner that you do. And for those of you that don't know it, Steve is out with shoulder surgery. So Scott is going to fill in for Steve again tonight. So Scott, could you go through the financials for us, please?
Those submitted tonight are the expenditures per list, $128,476.04. There are payroll expenses in the amount of $87,253. For total general fund expenditures of $215,729.04. This leaves a general fund account balance after expenditures of $7,957,001.96. We do have MFT expenditures tonight. Those are some fairground design efforts on some MFT projects and salt. The combined amount of $15,893.68. The MFT account balance after expenditures is $1,222,163.33.
Okay, can we have a motion to pay the bills, please?
So moved.
First by Stacy Malaco, second by Anthony Keene. Any discussion?
Yes, questions. Number 1, mosquito spraying, when did it happen?
It has not happened yet.
So we pay in advance.
Correct.
And they're going to do it whenever the traps tell them to do it.
That's right.
And you'll send out a notice to everybody so they can cover their plants and take care of their pets and all of that other stuff. that they
Issue a
can
press
do.
release.
Okay, secondly, there's a bill there for Zoom storage and car wash, $98.99. What, explain?
I think it was incorporated a number.
Yeah, they are as one item.
Zoom storage.
And car wash at $90.99. I don't know why the two are combined, but they are combined. And it seems strange.
It does, and I'm unaware of that expenditure.
I can answer that. So those are all, that's a total amount of miscellaneous expenses that came in on the credit card. So we are charged $40. I don't know if it's per month. Joe, maybe you can answer that for the store
Yep.
meeting. $7 of it, I think, was Scott's car wash. And then there were just some other small miscellaneous items in there.
Okay, so
That's
you're,
correct.
so you're saying there's just a big umbrella amount, miscellaneous, and
Correct.
first two labels end up there. Okay, and then
Right.
last, and I guess I can say this under old business. We purchase things at Ace Hardware, and sometimes we do at Menards, and Menards always has an 11% rebate. What's our rebate policy? Do those go to Public Works? How are those rebate checks used? And how do we account for them in our bills and so on and so forth?
Currently, you're saying like at Menards, the 11% discount you get? I think you just get 11% discount.
No, what you do is they give you a credit. They
Really?
mail, you have to mail in the receipt,
Mhm.
then they send you a credit,
Hmm.
which is like a little voucher. And then the next time you go in, you can spend it. So
I
Mike,
can address it very quickly, for the most part. So right now, and Troy might be able to weigh in too if he wants, but right now they track it down there. There's a notebook with all those come in. They all come in, get tracked down Public Works, and they get all listed down there, and they maintain all those. And they use those for the purchases down there. And then Steve Stromquist is also working on, he was working on how they're going to reflect those in the billing system.
so we
those
don't
are-
see those yet.
You wouldn't see those here, but they are accounted for.
You would see them as a net reduction of a
Yeah.
purchase rather than,
Correct.
but Steve wants to show them as both a revenue and a full expenditure,
Yeah, he's
understandably.
working on those tracks.
Right now, what you're seeing is just a reduced
Yeah.
expense.
Right, so I
The
charged
subsequent-
20 and I had a $15 credit, and so
And that is-
my net is 5.
Correct.
but
And
we
that's
have to-
maintained at Public Works. They do maintain those receipts and the their etching numbers, the code numbers down there. And then there's a binder down there where they maintain all of those. So they are being tracked in sort of two places.
So we're going to see this officially in a line item in our budget sometime.
I talked to Steve. Steve was going to
No,
track, and I know, I wouldn't even
I
like
think it'll
it.
be a budget line item.
You just,
Mr. Gustafson.
Well, I'm not asking for that amount of detail, just how do we take care of this? Because it's money in and out type of thing. And
Well, it
we
sounds
need
like
to-
they have a folder down there.
Yeah, right, but we don't see it, and we don't know about it. And with as much as we purchase, it can be hundreds of
I'm gonna
dollars.
see from, I guess, we'll ask Steve when he comes
I
back,
learned something.
because he was working on it. He does have a plan for it. So we can ask Steve when he comes back.
Okay.
And we can address it.
Thank you.
But it is, yeah. it is-
Any other discussion? Clerk call roll, please.
Oh, I sent it on.
Oh, this, pardon me, a minute. This goes with the cover pages.
Okay.
Where did?
Scott's got them now, but we'll get it over. Clerk call roll, please.
Gustafson,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
Elko,
Yes.
King.
yes,
Okay, motion carries. Item 7, consent agenda. Approval of the minutes of the May 3rd, 2022 village board meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
First by Sue Petty, second by
Second.
Justin Plock. Any discussion? Clerk call roll, please.
Malco,
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Gustafson,
Yes.
King.
yes,
Carries. Item 8, motion and resolution, final action, 8.1, approval of resolution 2022-R32, authorizing entering into a contract with Schroeder Asphalt Services Incorporated for completion of the 2022 Class D pavement patching program for the appropriated amount of $50,000. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thanks, sequence there, guys. First by Justin Black, second by Stacy Malico. Any discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
Petty,
Yes.
King,
yes,
Flock,
Yes.
Malco,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Gustafson.
Yes.
Motion carries. 8.2, approval of resolution 2022-R33, approving of acquisition of 3 2022 Ford Police Interceptor utility vehicles under the terms of the Village Master Lease Agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management Incorporated for the use of the Roscoe Police Department for a combined quoted price of $155,198. Have a motion, please.
May I confirm, because someone asked last time, they are all indeed white.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
So moved.
Yep. Second. First by Justin Black, second by Stacy Malico. Any discussion? Clerk call the roll, please.
Flock,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Gustafson,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. 8.3, approval of ordinance 2022-05, approving an updated whistleblower protection policy as mandated by the Public Officer Prohibited Activities Act and designated an auditing official. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
First by Justin Black, second by Stacy Millicoat. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll, please.
Dunn,
Yes.
Gustafson,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Block.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 9, new business. I don't believe we have anything under new business. Item 10, old business. Anybody have anything under old business?
Yes, question. My subdivision streets, even though the stuff was laid, what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? By William Charles?
I don't remember.
2018.
2018, was it?
Significant cracking horizontally in some areas. Really disappointing. That project looks terrible in such a short period of time. I would expect down the center where you had the width, but horizontal cracking, edges are going. It's a mess. For the record.
Okay.
So I know there's no guarantee. But just want it out there that I think we overpaid for an inferior application of something.
Anything else under old business? We don't have anything. Item 11, public comment. And Gene, I will defer to you one last time this evening.
For me not.
Okay, you sure? Okay. Do we have any?
No.
No one's on, okay. So public comment going once, public comment going twice, public comment is now gone. Item 12, executive session, I don't believe we need one. I have a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second. First by Justin Block, second by Stacy Malaco. Clerk, call the roll, please.
King,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Block,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Gustafson.
Yes.
Trustee Gus, I'll have Brandon go out and take photographs and look at what happened to your street and compare it back to the design document. You're right, 5 years later, it's not going to be under, it was an 18 installation, I'm almost
Was
certain.
it?
Yeah,
All of 18.
so 4 years later. It would be out of warranty surely by now unless we could. No, there's no unless, it's out of warranty at this point, but it would be good for future planning exercises. I know that was a method that we had not commonly used here. That was the fiber mat. I don't know if you remember, that's when we did the
Put the membrane.
inner, well, but then there's inner, like a dusting of fiberglass mesh, or pieces, cut fiberglass that mesh together, and then a mat and an overlay. And we should absolutely do some postmortem on it.
And Scott, I can, and board, I'm sorry, this is Brandon. I can speak to that a little bit if you guys like me to, or if you want me to just report at the next board meeting, I can do that as well.
Well, Brandon, if you are going to take a look at it, take a look at, it's particularly bad at the residence directly south of mine. So my address is 9151. And I don't know what that street number is, but directly south of me, two houses, it's really a lot of cracking. And it can't be attributed to just the heavy trucks going over things, and in other spots around also some horizontal cracking going on. It's just not holding up well at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I can take a look at that. I will say, just typically when you do maintenance projects like that, while we did do the fiberglass mesh, and this was before I was there, but you typically see cracking anywhere from five to 7 years, usually, sometimes earlier, sometimes later. That's typically when we recommend to do crack sealing. Now, if we're seeing cracking with any sort of significant width to them and not just hairline cracking, yeah, that would usually indicate some type of structural problem. But I will absolutely look at it. You are correct. You usually see the center line of the road start to separate before you see horizontal cracking. But yeah, I will absolutely look at that. In regards to the edges, that, I guess in all of our subdivision roads, especially the rural subdivisions, without, I guess, full maintenance and upkeep of aggregate shoulders and the fact that people park on the edge of the road, that's just what you're going to see, unfortunately, in these roadways. And I don't know the severity of it. To be honest, I haven't been out in that subdivision in quite some time, but I will go take a look and see what the severity is. And if there's anything that we can do to prevent that, I will talk with Troy and we can work on that.
Well, the edges vary, and I don't mean to take a lot of time. The deterioration of the edges vary based on how the landowner has landscaped up to it. Those that have grass pulled up, whereas those that have gravel or ditches have been worn by landscapers and all that kind of stuff. Those are the ones that are crumbling. So it will be very sporadic what you'll see out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Usually when the turf, and this is actually a village-wide problem, when the turf grows up over the edge of the roadway and prevents the water from sheet draining over into the ditch. Chicory Ridge is a very bad subdivision for this because it's just been built up over time and the water can't drain. It sits there on the edges and then the vehicles obviously drive on that and the standing water gets into cracking. And the freeze thaw cycle happens and it does deteriorate way more quickly than you would expect. So yeah, absolutely, we will look at that and see what we can do to address it.
Thank you.
The shoulder in front of my house is just washed away, and I was told by the village at one time that grass was not an option.
That's correct.
Did you power wash that?
Yeah, right. It's called rainstorms.
No, you're correct. That is our policy, is to maintain the aggregate shoulder, though that does rely upon a pretty Herculean task of us trying to maintain that equivalent lane mileage of shoulders so that they stay up and flush and do their job. It is the curse of a rural cross section. I don't know that the absence of gravel and the placement of dirt provides a more stable edge. While it might provide a more aesthetic appearance of where the two surfaces meet, but I haven't been out and driven to the subdivision to look at the edge of the pavement, so I'll be happy to do so also. But structurally, there's a reason why we want to maintain that aggregate shoulder. Usually when people put dirt up to it, they remove the gravel, right? Because otherwise you're putting an inch of dirt over it and nothing's going to grow in that. So you'll see people remove the gravel and bring dirt up to the edge of the asphalt. And now that shoulder serves a purpose. When placed and compacted, it should provide some resistance and stability against the edge of asphalt. And when removed, that's certainly not there. None of it's as good as concrete.
It's such that there's no room for a shoulder.
I know it. It's a tough condition to maintain.
Who designed that subdivision?
Petrie,
Oh,
it's a Petrie subdivision, Petrie Trust, 1998. They were even taken to court because the drainage was bad down to the river. Pursued.
Did you adjourn?
Yeah.
You did? Okay, then I'll ask Brandon to do. Brandon was going to do a status update on projects.
I'm sorry, under old business.
Let's have him do it.
That was my bust, I apologize.